And now, for your listening pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hypocritical, with your guides, Alexa MKE and MoKE, Shock the MoKE, where we praise or vent on all things that in the end just
Just don't
don't
matter.
matter. All right, what's mattering or not mattering to you today, Alexa?
I went camping.
Why?
Why? Camping's awesome. So yeah, we went up to the Northern Highlands State Forest. I think it is now. It used to be American Legion owned it. The state took it over. We went camping in a quiet place. I'm not going to mention.
Where is this near? What's the biggest town it's near?
It is near Sainer, Boulder Junction, just a little bit around Woodruff. So people who are familiar with the Minocqua Woodruff area. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So, but fishing was good. Raj caught lots of fishes.
Some
Kayaking was
bass, some northern. Did you get any muskellunge?
no muskellunge, but yes, bass, northern, panfish. He got a crappie. He got some bluegill. He got big mouth or largemouth bass. He got smallmouth bass, and he got a couple of northern. So yes, he. I don't fish anymore, but and then we went kayaking and hiking. So yay up north,
And
and
you
the
like
weather was beautiful.
kayaking? Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yes, and definitely it wasn't raining anywhere. That's for sure.
We did get a little bit of rain for a little bit. So it was fine. We had the big ass tent. We're like tricked out for camping now. It's pretty awesome.
So you're ready. So what other camping gives you, you're there and ready to go.
Damn straight.
So your tent's not going to fly up out because the stakes weren't in far enough or anything
No,
like that.
no,
Oh,
we're
good,
pretty.
good. Well, we'll keep on going what we did in the weekends. Yeah, I mean, gosh, I had a busy weekend too. That one weekend, it was a free fishing weekend for the state.
Yes.
So, right. So we actually backed up some poles I had found in a locker and some stuff I had bought at a flea market. And, we first went down to the Racine Zoo, checked it out. I haven't been down there ever. So that was kind of neat. They had a little art fair going on there that we had
Yeah,
mentioned.
the Racine Zoo is supposed to be a really nice zoo.
It is. It's kind of cool. It's again, it just feels again more homey, but at the same time, I have Tiger King in my brain, so all I can think of is run free, all of you, or this is wrong, or But stuck our foot in the in the water while we were there
Cool.
and at the beach, and then that night we fished and we actually still went and watched a little of the game at the Deer District just to take in a little bit of the you
Yes, and
know
we have to. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It could have gone so many different ways. Game 7 was just Durant on his foot on the line and Lopez at the point two giving it to someone else. Oh, it could have gone all so many different ways.
But
But
it
yes, we
didn't. We
prevailed.
won.
We
So,
won. I hope that's the best team we're gonna play.
well, I think the Hawks were the lower seeded team. I don't know how good they are because I don't watch basketball regularly. But
Right.
in the smaller markets too, they don't really cover the smaller markets like on ESPN or anything. So
No, no, that's this thing. We don't have a lot of the big names are not in. Giannis is one of the biggest names in there.
yeah,
That's
and
it.
Chris Middleton.
Chris and yeah,
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 yeah. So,
yeah.
but
Oh,
yeah,
he's
it's
such a
cool.
nice guy. Every time they have him on TV or he's talking or something like that, Chris was just such a big part of that, whole
Yeah,
thing.
and
He
the same
really
thing with
was.
Giannis. Giannis is amazing. He's just such a fans player, which I think is really
He is,
cool.
but I'm getting still critical of. But thank God Bud won this game, or he'd be looking at it for a job. That's for sure. Because there's a lot of things that still, didn't add up through there. That coaching was part of it until that seventh game, But so I don't know, man. We better take it all now, or I think he's still in the hot seat. But it sounds like he's not. So.
That's good.
Uh,
That's good.
and the Brewers had a good run going, and
Yeah,
then they have a bad run going now.
yeah. It is what it is. I mean, the Brewers have always been a little bit hot and cold. Oh wait, Dave's showing his hat, and I'm showing me. Hang on, Dave. There we go. Dave's got his hat on.
Old
Yay!
school.
Yay! But yeah, I mean, Brewers have always been a little hot and cold. It's like they used to like, oh, they'd get really hot and then they'd get close to the playoffs and and then they get in
Well,
the playoffs and it'd be oh.
afterburners never come at the right time.
Yeah.
There's still like one of the worst hitting teams in the league yet. The combined average. I don't know. It's like we do have must have really good pitching because we're certainly not hitting our way to victory. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Now, see, I'm not a huge baseball fan. I was a fair weather fan back, when we won, last time or what way in the 80s, with Robin Young and all those guys. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I also stopped at the McGuanago Flea Market, the Maxwell Days, as you will. Found a Green Bay Packer Monopoly game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. However, Favre is a property. It's $400, and Vince is 200. I find that insulting.
That is insulting. As a huge Packer fan, Brett Favre is not worth
Please,
more than Vince Lombardi.
no,
Ever. Ever.
my goodness.
Who wrote that? You
What?
know what you have to do is you have to scribble it out and put something else on it. I know to devalue it, but who cares?
Right,
Maybe it won't.
right.
Maybe it'll make it more
Yeah,
valuable.
yeah. I'm gonna put that jail. That should be the jail spot now.
There you go. There you go. So, did you watch Loki?
Yes, I've watched one so far, right?
You watched the first one?
Yes.
Okay, because they did another one on Friday, and they're all like 50 minutes long, which I really like. Because
Yes, that's
at
nice.
least you get a bit of story. I'm actually really digging it right now. I won't tell you about the second episode, but it actually sets up future episodes really well. So
Oh my goodness. So
yeah,
all the Easter eggs, that I was
yeah.
catching, on the way through there, and then I even went back and saw a little clickbait that made me click on it to see all the Easter eggs that were in there. But that drawer, when he opened it up, and has all the
Infinity
Infinity
Stones.
Stones just sitting in
Yeah,
there. Hey, he's using them for paperweights.
yeah.
What?
That's pretty good. Yeah,
That was
and the thing is that was the same thing. My coworker told me, and she's like, "Yeah, did you see all the stuff in there?" She goes, "I was getting really excited," and it's like, "Yeah, yeah." So
and actually, one of the close-ups of that drawer shows that most wanted baseball card. That one there's only like six of. There was one of those in the drawer too.
well, and did you see? Oh, see, you didn't see the second episode, so I will give you a little spoiler on the second episode. It
What to
op-
watch for?
it opens up with a Ren fair, Renaissance fair, set in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oh, beautiful. That's
It's
where the Oshkosh thing. I was like, did I miss
yeah,
that, or is that
yeah.
coming up?
No, it's coming up. So it's like the first thing you see. So it's not too much of a spoiler, but it is pretty
Right.
funny. Yeah. So that was
Great.
awesome. So we got a shout out. Yeah. So you were watching DC Legends talking about comic book
Right.
stuff.
Well, just I'm back on it. It's back on
Okay.
again. Again, there's many seasons of this. If you've never watched it, please go watch it. It's a great show. It really is. Lots of quirky stuff on it. And if you're ever looking for cosplay stuff, there's tons that come in and out of that one. So definitely go check TC's Legends.
Speaking of DC, I did watch Wonder Woman 1984 this weekend. Did not like it. I
Ah,
I thought it was so cheesy that the scene where Steve is trying on like all the 80s clothes, all the bad 80s clothes, it took far too long. You could have done that in 2 to 3 outfits and just cut it, but I'm sitting there going, okay, when's this going to be over?
well,
Like
she did it in the first one, when she was trying on all her outfits before she got the Sherlock Holmes outfit together with the
yeah.
pants and
And,
everything.
but see the thing is first time it's a gag, second time it's a bore.
Right.
So but yeah, but I also
I think sexist.
so do you know who Bo Burnham is? Comedian?
You had that on there, and I did a quick look just to see if I knew who it was without knowing who it was, and I really don't. And it sounds like someone I should know.
So I had always seen, some bits and bobs of him on the internet, and it's like I never watched a whole special. So he did this special called Inside on Netflix. He did it during COVID. He starts at the beginning. His hair is short. He's a musical comedian, so he sings a lot of songs. And it was amazing. First of all, the songs and the production is wonderful. He did it by himself. Like everything was by himself. The lighting, he did it all in one room. The sound, the way he created moods, and the songs. Some of the songs are earworms. Like I'm going to work going, okay, I have white woman's Instagram going through my head. It's like so he does these really like topical things in the comedy, and talks about some dark stuff and whatnot, but it's really a good watch. It's about an hour and a half long. It's on Netflix. I definitely suggest it to anybody who enjoys comedy. It's a little bit more modern take on comedy, and it's
Yeah, that's what I was
super well
reading, that
done.
he really was a good songwriter. People shouldn't forget that about him,
Yeah.
and it doesn't give enough credit for him. So
No, they don't. They don't. And some of the things that I was looking at online were that I didn't see any of his previous specials, and they were saying he's really improved. And he just seems like a genuine guy. I don't know about him. I didn't know much about him, but everybody's like, "Oh, you got to go see this special." And it's like, yeah, I definitely recommend it. And I honestly think he should win some awards because some of the stuff he does with the lighting and whatnot is just like, oh my god, dude, you're pretty talented. Knowing what we do for this podcast to just get it up and running. And the dude has like massive amounts of equipment. I mean, he just has, between the musical equipment, the video equipment, the sound, the lighting. I mean, he has a lot of really good equipment, so he should be able to get a good result. I thought it was stellar. So
so
that's,
yeah, it's amazing what you can do with production when you need to, and how well everybody starts out with basic. And I bring this back to like when some band comes out with their first album and it was recorded for $100,000 and it sells, millions of copies. And then the next album costs $5 million to produce. I'm like, what are you? What is that? What did you get for that extra money?
usually a sound. You usually get a sound studio, and you get probably a producer and
Well, yeah, but I'm like,
yeah,
wow, that's just a big jump. It's a big
yeah,
jump. And
yeah.
one sounded great, and the next one sounds okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's like Neil Blomkamp with District 9. Like District 9 was on a shoestring budget, and it was an amazing film.
I want District 10. Where is District 10? He's still
It's
talking about it. He's still talking
they're
about
talking
it. It's
about it.
bubbling.
It
He's
may
been
be
doing some
coming.
stuff and he thinks he's ready to come back to it now.
Yep, yep. So it may be coming.
I love
Um,
that movie.
I
That's one of
know,
my
it's so
favorite
good.
movies.
Yeah. So you watched Ragnarok. I watched the first season. Were you watching the second season or the first season?
Yes, no, no. I think we must have. I remember bringing it up in one of our shows when it first came out, but I felt it was going to be one of those. Gosh, it's not going to make it, is it? This is the only season I'm ever going to watch of this. And then I had seen that the second season was out, and I'm like, yay, So I burned. There's only 6 episodes,
That's it? Just
vroom.
6?
Yeah, I think that's all there was in the
Are they
first one
good?
too. Oh gosh,
Are they
yes,
good?
yes. I mean, if you realize it doesn't do anything to diminish off the first season by any means whatsoever.
Good,
But
good.
I keep getting the feeling that I don't want this thing to go past maybe 3, 4 seasons. This needs to be, there needs to be an end to this.
Yeah, yeah. I
Unless
mean, you need usually like I think 4 to 5 seasons is a good story arc, if you're going to do a complete um I'm worried because the Expanse, they're saying this is the last season of the Expanse, and then I was reading something that it may get picked up somewhere else because there are
well,
more books
stick around.
beyond,
Yeah, yeah.
what they're going to
Well,
cover.
three, if if a guy plans out for five, he can plan out for five. But I think three is where a lot of these things should end up. Really, you know what I mean? It's kind of like after three, it's like, well, we're gonna push for another one. Okay. I mean, Stranger Things. I'm like, I'm worried about as this continues on after season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
Throw
it
some more
really
coal in the
depends.
fire. I mean, that's all it
Yeah.
is.
It's dependent upon the source material too, because like Game of Thrones needed what it had, and it actually probably needed more. Whereas, The Expanse as well, there's enough material there to keep going. But, Ragnarok, you're talking about a legend, and so you have a limited amount of material to work with. So it's gonna be interesting. But
But I do like the innocence of the whole this show. The feel of this show is very cool. I like,
yeah, yeah. I think, and it's
and
so different because it's not an American show. It's
right,
definitely,
right.
you know.
And thank you for having English subtitled in for dubbed over for me, so I don't have to sit and read the thing the whole time. Because I actually and this is for next time. But and it's just something to think about. Get out a rant. I started watching some murder mystery thing in Iceland or Norway or something, and they're all Hershke and I'm reading at the bottom, and it's a documentary. So, am I not actually just reading a book at this time at this moment? I mean, because it's not action. I'm just sitting there seeing people's faces and words under it. And every time there's a new scene, I feel like that's the new page. That's it. I'm reading a book right now on TV. This is
Yeah.
books on TV.
I guess I'm used to it with anime because I actually prefer subtitles to dubbing. Because the subtitles are usually better. I wish I knew Japanese so I could watch it in the original language, but I don't. So I'll take what I can get. But I've
Yeah.
always preferred it.
Oh, come on, Speed Racer with the go moving mouths and the and
That's
wrong
just
way,
bad.
and the Power Rangers. Come on,
Yeah.
that's what the charm of all that. All right, and then so I was a
Yeah,
busy
you had some
boy.
other stuff going on.
Went down and visited Marianne. We say hi to her. She's got a she shed that she sells her Scentsy out of. The little melters and
Oh,
everything.
okay, cool.
So that's
I
down
want
in
her
East
she
Troy.
shed. I'm jealous.
Yes, yes, it's very nice. She spent some good time on it, got it up nice. So everything's out of her living room now. All of the scents and everything in her kitchen, they're
Yeah,
all
good.
got out of there now,
Yeah,
and
that's
they
kind of
have their
nice.
own place. But while we were down there, we went to Gus's, a ice cream joint, hamburger joint, and we said, well, let's go try that place out. And we went over there, and they had one of those big guys, the Paul Bunyan guys from like up north, one of those. But
Oh, really?
yeah,
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 because we
yeah,
went
yeah.
by the Paul Bunyan when we were on our way up to the
Sure,
campsite.
sure, sure,
Yep.
sure. It was, and I think they're made from the same mold. There's a history on the wall of them all, and they're all considered the Muffler Men's, and that's how it started. The guy who made it, and then he started adapting it for other places because
Okay.
it was such a roadside attraction. But then all these places got, when the highways came by and the had the bypasses instead of going to the business district, everybody, all these things started to crumble, and there's people that went out and tried to save these things. They know how many there are, out there that they made. And so when someone runs across a piece of one, they try to restore it.
So they're a piece of
And
history.
they're a piece of
That's kind of
Americana.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yes, it's a huge sucker, towers above the whole thing. And so I was like, geez, how have I never been here before? One of the world's biggest pieces of yarn, balls of yarn in my backyard, and I didn't go yet.
Ah, did you get to go see the biggest ball of yarn?
No, that was it. The muffler guy. I'm saying I didn't know
Oh.
that he was
Oh,
there,
okay. So that's what you're likening it to.
likening it to that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. And then
And then Father's Day, went to visit Dad up north and looked at my Yukon plants.
how are your
Uh,
cone plants? Rogers is doing well.
Good, good. Yeah, they're doing well as well. And lost a couple. I think animals were digging up to find out what it is we had there, and they didn't like it, so they left it. But they didn't take more. They just took one. And I guess not.
Maybe
So
it was so filling they didn't need more than
that's
one.
right. And then the next day, went to the arcade, which is that big arcade. You pay $15, you get to play
All day long.
all day long.
Yeah, that's kind
So
of cool.
let's. I love doing that. Lots of pinball and everything.
Ah,
I
pinball.
got my name on my old game, which was Battle Zone. Where you kind of look through a periscope with a
Oh
tank,
yeah.
and it was green, and then you go around behind these things and shoot it, and every once in a while a buzzer came at you, and I got my name number one on that. I had the high score at Aladdin's Castle in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, on that game. Back in the day, I could play for 35 minutes for a quarter. That's and that.
Galaga for the win. I was a Galaga queen and I love my pinball. So, yeah.
Yeah, my pinball skills are not
Really?
wizardly at all.
Oh, I was
Pinball wizardy.
definitely the pinball wizard. I could milk a quarter like seriously. And I
I
didn't
know.
tilt ever. Like
That's one of those funny things. When I was a kid, it was two plays for a quarter, and you got five balls.
I only got one play for a quarter, but I did get 5 balls. So, but yeah. And then it went down to 2 balls. And then it was like, really?
No,
It's
three. It
like,
was always three. Three. They always had three. They never gave you two, did they?
yeah, they did for a while. I forget where I was that they gave you two balls. It's like, what? What is this? This is bullshit. So yeah. So I didn't do our movies and whatever. So we'll do our bubbles. Where'd my bubbles go? Dave, you're covering my bubbles. There we are. Yay, internet
Sorry.
adventures. So,
Sorry.
yeah, it's okay. Here's
Sorry.
the
Sorry. Not
Dave.
sorry.
So,
Sorry. Not sorry.
have you ever done a Secret Santa?
Well, I suspect I have at work or something, or one of those things, or that you mean that where you pass around a gift, everybody just brings one in, and
Well, usually you pick a name and then you buy that person something and they
you
don't
did a
know.
Reddit book one, I remember, right?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of Reddit ones. Well, Reddit is killing Reddit gifts. And Reddit gifts had, according to Guinness Book of World Records, the biggest Secret Santa globally. And it used to be that
Who ruined it for everybody?
Reddit did.
No, I mean, who did something stupid so
No,
that Reddit had to
no,
change it?
it was Reddit. So Reddit Gifts was started by a Reddit community, and it was not owned by Reddit. And Reddit took it over. And now, after a few years, they're killing it. It's like, it was this massive, like, they
I'm
had,
buying your company so I can dismantle it.
nobody understands why. So the entire Reddit community is pissed because, like, Snoop
Up in
Dogg,
arms? Are everybody up in arms?
yeah,
Hey,
Snoop
pitchforks
Dogg would
and
participate. Bill Gates would participate. I mean,
oh,
there were
jeez.
celebrities who participated, and like they would, like Bill Gates gave this woman like this amazing. She was into all this, kind of esoteric stuff, and so he didn't just give her like computer stuff. No, he looked at her profile and gave her books and like things that she would really enjoy that she probably would have never purchased for herself because I think she was a student, and it was just really really cool. And Snoop would do the same thing, and I had
So there
gotten,
was a lot of feel good fuzzies in there,
oh my god, yeah, the feel
but
good.
they had no comment on why they did it.
They're saying to improve user experience. It's like, how are you improving user experience by taking
By
something that
taking
everybody loves
something
away?
away.
Yeah. So we're all pissed off. But I mean, I've actually gotten some really cool artwork that's beyond where my computer is here, but I've gotten anime artwork from people that they'd made themselves. Some lady actually painted a dragon on a wheel of cheese because she knew I was from Wisconsin. It was a fantasy giveaway. Yeah, and I've given really cool things. I've made pillows and yeah, so
That's great.
it
Yes.
is.
Well, it's better than a cow made out of butter that maybe melted on the way there.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's basically a moon that's a wheel of cheese with a dragon on it. But it's
That's
really cool.
great.
I mean, it's
That's
really really
nice.
neat.
That's
So
that. Well, again, somebody took a little something, at least made it to you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It wasn't the gift card.
Yeah, and I've done the same thing. It's like, oh, what do you like? And then you go and you make something or do something that person's going to be interested in. But so anyway, have you ever gotten an auto reply on an email?
Out of office ones, I think. Yeah, I've done the auto. It will return after blah blah blah.
Yeah, I know. My favorite one was I was checking on something I had ordered, and they're like, okay, we're creating a ticket. It's like, all right, what the hell does this mean? It was an automatic reply. We're creating a ticket, and we will get back to you in a reasonable amount of time. It's like, okay, 4 days later, I had no response.
Oh yes, I had one of those with I had a warranty issue on one of my rigid tools, and they said I said, we're going to get back to you later, just which is the best way and phone number. And I put my phone number in it right to this rigid, you know, helpline, and nobody ever called me back. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. So after like getting this thing, finally I like created a second ticket and referenced the first ticket and said, you said you were going to get back to me in a reasonable amount of time. It's now 4 days later. I think a reasonable amount of time is 24 hours. So then they finally did get back to me and tell me that the thing I was ordering was going to take another 2 weeks. But it was like, why are you auto replying to emails? And then they said, oh, and if send another email, it could be up to 2 weeks before we get back to you. It's like, that is not a reasonable amount of time. I mean, seriously. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. The customer service representative that you need hasn't been born yet, so we'll have to wait till they, get acclimated before we put them in here
They
and
need to
help you
grow
out.
up and learn how to read. Yeah, it was bad. So it's like I will probably poke them with a stick again in about another week because I want this thing that I
And they're gonna say
ordered.
it's 2 weeks again. They're gonna keep making you 2 weeks. They're gonna put you back another week every time. She called again.
No, they better not put me back another week or I'll reverse the charges and then they're gonna lose their money.
Oh,
So, but yeah. So and then we talked about NFTs. Remember talking about NFTs?
yeah,
How many have you bought?
none.
Good, because I read an article
Got
that
it all in
basically,
Bitcoin.
yeah, right. It said NFTs to be worthless in about 3 to 5 years, and one redditor, I love the way he put this. He said, "It's like buying the receipt and you don't own the item."
Yeah, that is good.
I mean, seriously. So, but yeah. So then, you've got a Twitter.
Right, right. Well, yeah, Amy Berg tweeted a photo of Evans, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, and Chris Pratt saying one of them has to go.
What are you doing, Dave?
I coughed.
Oh.
And it kind of just like there's too many Chris's in Hollywood, just kind of a funny tongue in cheek little thing,
Well, yeah, because there are too many Chris's, and really, they should just change their name at this point.
Right. Well, people kind of like all of a sudden decided we're deciding which one to get out. If you're going to get one out, which one would it be? And well, now when people start throwing in their 2 cents of why they would do that, Chris Pratt becomes he belongs to a church that has been less than favorable to LGBT, community.
Yeah,
All of a sudden
that's
they're like,
one of
well,
the
what's
things
good?
that.
So now they start pouncing on the guy, Yeah, and it's like, well, this is not what this is, and that's just what things are. Post just little fun posts, too many Chris's out there. All of a sudden turns into a
Yeah, it
political
turns
thing,
political. Yep.
exactly, and religious, and
Yeah.
so, but anyway, everybody kept supporting Chris, Pratt. He's the best guy out there. Don't do. He doesn't deserve any of that. Everybody came out of the woodwork, but the Thor actor actually this next time said tweeted, "Happy 40th birthday to Chris Evans. You'll always be number one in my book." And what he had is actually him with Chris Pratt.
That's funny.
Yeah, so the trolling between the Chris's is they're all doing it tongue in cheek and having a good time with it as well. So,
Well, it's kind of like
uh,
the Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds thing.
right, right,
Yeah,
right, right, right,
that's
right,
fun when
right.
they do
They have
that.
a good one going on.
Yeah,
I
yeah, for
even saw
sure.
Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake Lively, right?
I think
Is
so.
it my, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They do that all the time too, because that was the one time. I remember he said, "I was really having a great time looking at you, trying to get listening to you, John Legend, until this guy, jumped in front and I couldn't get a good view, and it was her husband, it was Ryan Reynolds." And then once I said, "Happy birthday, babe," and there was a picture of the other Ryan one from um, the other Reynolds, Ryan, the other Ryan with the white hair. It's like she would say, "Hey, babe, happy birthday," and put the wrong one in the picture.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
could just see his face on the side of the Instagram photo, half in, half out.
That's
So
funny.
there, yeah, I enjoy the them barbing each other. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
It
fun
just
stuff.
like I don't know if you watch any golf, the Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka
Not a
little
golf
thing.
person.
Yeah, there's a little thing going on there.
There's a thing. Well, we're gonna go to is this critical?
Or hip.
There we go. So, what do we got? Oh, you got some stuff. What do you got, Dave?
I have something hip. All right.
Cool.
So I'm driving and I need to get my windshield wipers to, work to clear off some dust and hit my squirters and
Absolutely
windshield
critical.
wipers. Absolute and the critical. and it goes up, and as I'm looking, there's something in my windshield wiper. I'm like, what the, and then I stop it, and then as soon as I stop the vehicle, I go out and look, and there's a note and a rose.
Okay.
Hello. So I know when you find this, you may be a little caught off guard and confused. Today, I was challenged to put a smile on a complete stranger's face. I know I won't be able to see your reaction, but after I put it on your car, I'll be gone. I hope this finds you in good spirits. Times have been tough for us all lately. So all I can do is try to put a smile on someone's face. My name is Haley. She actually gives me the phone number. If you need help with anything, it will help. I will try. God bless you and your family. Have a great day, Haley. Strange she put her number on, but I did text her and said thanks for the note. You did make my day and my smile. So
Oh, that's sweet. I wouldn't put my number on it. I mean, you can put your
I,
name on, but
yeah, the number was kind of weird, as I said, but I did text her and she responded. Like I said, now there's even a part two to this, unbeknownst to me. All
ah,
right, so I'm talking about this, and I kind of put it on Facebook, and I thought, well, people out there still trying to be nice to the other human beings out there.
there's a catch.
And no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Chrissy comes in and says, it was on my car, and I put it on your car. What? Yeah, I didn't know if it was a scam or something, or thought that something, maybe it was marked for something. And I go, so you thought you had a chance of being killed or kidnapped, and so you put it on my car instead.
Oh my God. That's actually really funny.
Yeah, so love you too, honey.
You're
Yeah, yeah. If there was a chip in it and they're trying to follow you and steal it, yeah, and that's on my car. Thank you.
gonna get the COVID now.
So, but I still thought that it was really nice that there's somebody out there trying to do things nice for the other human beings out
that
there.
that that was very nice
So,
of her. So then,
yes, but don't put your phone number on it if you like to do those things.
no, don't
Don't.
put your phone number on. People are
Yeah,
weird out there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you look like? Send me some pictures.
yeah.
You know what I mean, honey?
What do we got? We got a Lito. Hi, Lito.
You're making the cartoon that you got having
Yeah,
out.
we got the Lito cam.
I did find it interesting that as we're still continuing on now, the Queen has seen 13 different presidents.
Well, yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, she ain't getting any younger, but she ain't dying either.
No. And Netanyahu was out. We have that while we're here.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I really want a little backlash going on. The people who are backlashing against our VP. Go visit the wall. Why aren't you visit the wall? Why aren't you at the wall? Okay, when there's a zombie apocalypse, there's people that sit on the wall and do nothing but what? Kill the zombies, right?
That's
That's
right.
that's right.
And they
Because
end
they're
up
already
dying
infected. They're
because
already infected. They're already at the wall. It's time to just kill them. All right.
exactly.
But really, the whole movie is not about the wall and killing zombie. The movie is how to stop the zombies from getting to the wall, how to stop people from being zombies that need to go to the wall.
Now, and we are
So,
talking to our zombie expert, just so
yes.
everybody knows Dave is
So
a
so
zombie
when we
expert.
so when we ask why somebody doesn't go to the wall, it's because the wall is already full of zombies. If you want to stop the zombie apocalypse, you've got to go down where they're coming from and stop it at the source. All right.
All
So
right. Now, Dave, what's the next? After we try to stop it at the source, how do we do that?
then what do we do after stop it at the source?
Yeah, I mean, you got Vice President Harris here, so how how
Oh,
how does she stop the zombies at the source?
she went to the right. She went down to South America. She went down into Mexico and Guatemala and everything. She went to the countries that they're coming from and tried to
Ah,
make sure that they could try to do things to make sure the zombies weren't created.
okay. We are likening immigrants to zombies for our
Correct.
confused listeners.
Correct. Correct. So our president is down there trying to stop them from being zombies instead of just fighting them once they are at the border. And then people are having a problem with that. But that's what you got to do. That's how you do it. Now, trying to convince every
Yeah.
corrupt politician in South America, that they got to be paying more attention to their people. Yeah, they ain't gonna switch on any
Well,
light for
you always
that.
got Bolsonaro in Brazil who's just trying to kill all his people. I think they're gonna eclipse the COVID deaths in the U.S. pretty soon. They're up over
Yeah,
500,000.
they're at a half mil. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
reported.
exactly. That's not excess deaths.
Even
Uh,
India, where they're running down they're just putting them in the rivers, to get rid of
yes,
them. And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. More COVID, aren't we fun? Talking about zombies. Yeah, no. You're a buzzkill, Dave.
Well, we're in the critical part of our show.
We are in the critical part of our show, and I don't know if you
Gene
read this.
Miller, that's not very critical.
What?
No. The Gene Miller is retiring, you say
It
here.
is critical. He was a Milwaukee legend. So Gene Miller is retiring after 40 years.
Well,
Milwaukee
yeah, that's what I'm
legend.
saying. I mean, I'm not critical of that. I mean, I want him to stay on. I mean, right? Or
Yeah,
am I
well, that's what I
saying it
mean. It's
wrong?
critical. It's like we love Gene. So, good luck to Gene in the future. I actually knew his wife when I was doing costumes because their daughter was a figure skater.
And
Really
he's
nice
always wearing a
family.
leather vest. You must have made one of those for him.
No, I didn't. No, I just did costumes for the daughter. But really beautiful family, really nice, really down to earth. Didn't just really cool family. And I wish them the best going forward because Gene deserves it. He's a hard worker and been a hard worker for a really long time. So you
Yes, he
remember Reitman and
deserves.
Miller, I'm sure. I'm
Oh,
sure you have a few
yes.
Reitman and Miller T-shirts.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have one of
All
those.
right, you got
But
to show us your Kish T-shirt because I'm doing a
oh, yes,
segue.
yes. This was in 99,
There we go.
1999. It was the Psycho Circus, and they actually had you get 3D glasses, the red and blue one, a
Oh
lens on
yeah,
each side,
yeah, the fun
and they had a
ones.
big screen in back. And it was the first time I saw 3D. And we were up in one of the boxes, and he was like sticking his guitar neck out at you from the screen or throwing an orb at you. And I swear that was the first time where if you were talking to someone and all of a sudden you turned to the screen when that was happening, you would duck. You would, I
Dave
mean,
was tripping. Dave was tripping on shrooms.
tripping balls,
He was
man.
tripping on shrooms.
But oh my gosh, and that was the first time really with 3D in a scale like that where it could still affect you. I didn't know it could, when you're up in the box across the whole stadium, it's still right in front of you, right there, which was great. And
Yeah.
then I don't know, I went to, I think Avatar was the 3D movie I
Yeah.
went to.
Yeah.
I don't remember any other ones that I went to. You've seen some or more than
I
that?
saw one of the either the Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings in 3D, and I really didn't like it. I when we did see Avatar in 3D, that was effective, but I don't think it's necessary to see it in 3D. I just thought it was fun. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
usually I go on $5 night, and that's usually not the 3D version of any movie,
yeah. No,
and
you have to pay a little bit extra. So we're supposed to be doing Is It Critical? So Joe Sanfilippo, Republican from New Berlin, yes, thinks the National Guard should patrol Milwaukee so it doesn't turn into a war zone. So Dave, do you feel like you're living in a war zone?
no, but people outside of Milwaukee do.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I realize there's more shootings this year and more crime, but that's a national trend. It's not just in Milwaukee. It actually is a national trend throughout the states. They're not quite sure, exactly what's contributing to that. They feel it has something to do with COVID, but if they look at the data, they're going to be able to figure it out. Probably, we'll know a little bit more next year because it's hard to figure it out while it's happening. But I never felt like Milwaukee was a north zone or a war zone. And I used to go down to the north side when I delivered flowers. I was delivering flowers, in the, what they call the near west side. I was going down to the North Shore Home Depot, and they had crime there and everything. But I mean, they were right on the edge of like affluence and poverty. And it was like really an interesting, you know, place to be because you saw everything and it was actually kind of cool because of the diversity. So I think
Silver Spring is really a lot like that, yeah, as
yeah,
you head on the
yeah, it
east part of
is.
that.
Yeah. But I think part of these, Waukesha Republicans who feel that, we need to have the National Guard in Milwaukee. I don't know what Milwaukee they're talking about. I realize we have our issues in Milwaukee, and it's certainly not, anything that's going to be an easy solve or issues that are just going to disappear overnight. But the National Guard isn't, turning us into a, armed city isn't going to
Police
change
state.
anything. Yeah, it's not. It's not going to change anything. So yeah, dude's like
No.
totally out of touch. So you had your Justice Department things
Well,
here.
that's how the DOG requested 73 phone numbers and 36 email addresses from Apple on a sealed subpoena.
They do that all the time, though.
This
Yeah.
one was different.
What was
This
what was different about it? Because I know they've done it to a lot of the providers. I know they've had Reddit has had it
because it
happen.
was for a leak. The Trump administration was going after a leak, and only Democrats were targeted. No Republicans were asked.
Ah, interesting. That is interesting. So it is a
Yeah.
little different.
And
Okay.
there are some, you should see all the people who Schiffer got it. And who else? And there was some other, a lawyer, as well, a Trump ex-lawyer. But very interesting. And that there the again no oversight to being able to ask for this just far-reaching information to find a leak, for the
That that
security.
that has something. Some of it has something to do with also the Patriot Act, which keeps getting re-upped every time it comes up.
Home security,
Even
yeah.
even though it's you know that particular act was put together out of fear, and it is to surveil. Um, the Patriot Act has nothing to do with being a Patriot Act. It's a surveillance act, and it's like we need to get rid of it. It's actually mostly illegal.
Be a good patriot and let us look at your stuff,
Exactly.
whatever we want.
Yes. So I see you also have a fuck Ron Johnson in here.
Hey, Buck Ron
Fuck Ron
Johnson,
Johnson.
yeah.
I saw that too. He
Yeah, he was booed at the Juneteenth.
yeah.
He
Gee.
was stopped by the Republican area. And, well, I don't know why we're having this much problem. That's not very nice. He's down there saying, yeah, either is saying that I wasn't afraid on June 6th because they were all white, but had they been Antifa or Black Lives Matter, I'd had a problem. I'm like,
Well, and he
and you
voted
wonder why you're
against
getting booed.
Juneteenth as a national holiday, and so he goes to a Juneteenth celebration and
Right. He
figures that
said no to that. I don't think
yeah.
we need to lose six, whatever million, billion, trillion, whatever he put number behind it, monies, for taking a day off of business.
Most people are not going to take a day off business, but I will say this: my employer, Penzies, I have off on Friday. This will be every year for Juneteenth. We have a paid holiday going forward.
Ah,
It will be a paid federal holiday. So,
wow.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take it. And a lot of the people they employ by us are people of color. They have a very diverse workforce. I got to give them, there's young people, there's old people, there's, white people, black people, there's Asians, there's Latinos, there's, everything.
Everybody cooks.
Yeah, everybody does cook. So, yeah, we have an amazing workforce. Did you ever skateboard? You look like the type who'd do
Um,
a longboard.
they didn't have those out when I was a kid.
Ah,
Mine was, and I wish I would have found it because I think it would be put in a museum, or the old skateboarders would love it. It was just the old pressed plastic with the hard wheels on it, and I cracked my elbow on it more than once, falling off of
you were
it.
supposed to wear elbow guards.
Yeah,
So
not when I back in the 70s. Nobody wore that stuff,
nobody
man.
even
Come
wore a
on.
helmet when they rode a bicycle.
Jeez, we had a flag on the back of our bikes to let them know we're around. That was about as safe as shit got.
Is that
That's
why we
about
had
it.
that flag? I thought that was flag was just for fun.
Just
Um,
for coolness,
so
yeah. But
speaking of like not wearing helmets, my dentist actually asked me when I got my teeth cleaned and got my exam, what happened to your tooth? It's like, I don't know, because I have a crack in one of my front teeth. He goes, yeah, that's usually, something you did as a kid. And I'm like, yeah, I probably fell off a bike. Anyway,
right,
is this critical? Why is this critical? They are going to reopen the Turf Skateboard Park in Greenfield. My daughter skated at this skateboard park when she was a kid. It's an iconic, epic story. So, did you know anything about the turf
no,
at all? No, nothing.
nothing.
Okay, so the turf was one of the first skateboard parks, and at the time it was an outdoor skateboard park The kids just came and they skated, and it was a little controversial when they first built it and everything. And then, skateboarding kind of fell out of popularity, so they filled it in with gravel and they paved over it. And it was supposed to be part of the freeway on ramp. They were gonna do some stuff with the freeway. Then they tried to sell it, and then a company came in and they realized it was there. So they arranged with the city to sell it back, and they've I guess they've already taken all the gravel out and found all the original bowls. So they're going to turn it into a skateboard park. There's going to be an indoor portion of the skateboard park, and they're going to use the old bowls and kind of make sure that they're skatable, and the outdoor bowls. And supposedly in 2022, everybody's going to have their skateboard park back. And Tony Hawk actually skated at this skateboard park at one point.
Oh, we all know
Yeah,
who that is. Everybody knows who Tony is.
exactly. So it's gonna be
No,
super cool.
I've seen a few pop up and everything, but it was really kind of sad when COVID hit that the cities went around and poured sand in all of them, so the kids couldn't hang out by them.
They didn't in Tosa. The Tosa
Oh
one was open. I think the
no,
West
was it?
Dallas one was open too.
But they also you have to go through turnstiles to get to those too, though, don't you?
No, I
So
don't
they
think
just
so.
closed it.
No, I don't think
Mm,
so. The West Dallas one and the Tosa one, I think were both open at the time.
oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the one down by the park there, yeah, by the.
Aw, that's a bummer.
I know. I mean, it was just on a corner one. It was a little corner one they did. Then I kept on driving by, and I'd always see the sand in there. And then finally, the sand was gone, and I was like, "Yay,
Yeah.
yay for the kids!"
Why is this not doing what I want it to do? There we go. There we go. We're gonna do the MoKE moment. As always, Dave has a moment. So what do we got going on now, Dave?
All right. So remember the last time when we were here, I had a knock on the door, and police officers were at my door. The
Yes,
cops
yes, the
again.
police came to arrest Dave.
Dave, Dave's not here.
No, Dave's not
Dave.
here. No, no, Dave's not here. Go
So
away.
they were whoever they were looking for or whatever. So there's a little substation just on my way home actually. So I actually pulled in there a few days later and went and asked to see if I could talk to a police officer and just to ask him, is there any way I can tell you guys that I live there and not anybody else? So, you could quit coming to my door. And he's like, no, no, if the police want to come to your door, they're always going to come to your door. And they go, no, no, I get that. I get that. That's not what I'm asking. I'm just trying to
Okay.
say, is there any way I can put my name on file that I live there, show you my ID, driver's license, just so that people know that who they're looking for isn't there? And he goes, no, no. And again, listen, and it's like I had this is like I said, the fourth time. And he goes, well, listen, they could have one guy coming twice. You could have this sheriff, you could have the county, you could have the state, you could have, and then he's even typing. I gave him my address. Says we haven't even been there. We haven't even talked. We have never knocked on your door. So my local police have never been the ones that have knocked on my door.
So who's knocking on your door then?
Who knows? City, county, sheriff. Who knows? That's the state. It does. That's what he's trying to say. It could be anything. He said it could be. He said even if it was us, it could be we're doing a favor for somebody up north. Hey, we heard the guy might be at this place. Can you check it out? So we'll run over and knock on the door. And I'm like, all right. So I guess you pretty much answered what I had. There's no way for me to put anything in there. It says I live there. Don't come here anymore. He goes, no, no, they're going to follow up the leads and everything. And like I said, it could be three different. Your guy could have. It's your address, not you. And the guy that was there before you is a bad guy. He could have been bad guy in a bunch of different towns, a bunch in the whole state. So
Ah, that's so frustrating.
yeah,
It's like,
can't change
really?
the address. It's the address. Yeah.
It's like, so if you live where a known perp has been,
Be ready.
be ready. They're coming for you. Maybe not for you, but
Which is a
for.
good segue into got a call from my daughter one morning. Dad, they stole my car. What?
Oh, that sucks. Didn't
Of
she
course,
just
she's
get
got
this
a
car not too
Hyundai.
long ago?
She's got a Hyundai. I got a Kia, and those are the ones with
Yep.
4,300 cars have been stolen in the Milwaukee area since the beginning of the year.
Yep.
Big percent of those are Kia and Hyundai.
Yep.
And so yeah, they took it at like 2 a.m. She heard back. She called her insurance company. Insurance company called her at 4, saying the police found it at 11 that morning. She tried to get in touch with the police. The police said that David tried to call her, and then she had no missed calls from the police, so they're lying, or didn't follow up on the correct ad and phone number for my daughter. Um,
Maybe they were looking for that perp.
and so yeah, so she actually it got towed, and it closed by the time she heard where it was. It was too late to go get it that day. But towing is free for anything stolen for, I guess, 2 days or 3 days or something like that. You get.
Ooh, how genuinely nice of them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the storage, no, zero for storage, but the
Okay.
tow you still got to call, but insurance will take care of that. But they broke her window, of course, and jacked her steering column,
Of
and
course.
so then when she said she could find it back, and I'm like, oh great, all I could think of was the Big Lebowski. Big Lebowski, right? It's like, oh man, what's that smell? Yeah, whatever took it must have, could have slept or maybe did his business in the back, and at least your credence tape is still in there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, do you
Yuck.
like have any leads or anything? Did you take fingerprints? Yeah, fingerprints. I'll get some of the boys downtown if we're all working on it. That's all I can think of is like they're all laughing. The funny part about it all, the annoying thing, my daughter is telling me, she goes, look at this. And she sends me pictures. Not only is her window broken because they had to get in again, but they connected to her radio with their iPhones. So one says Megan's iPhone, one says Miracle's iPhone, one says Tyler Reardon, which I tried to look up and find this kid, if, but so and I'm just like, she tried to call back the police to let them know that, and they've never answered their call, never took up, never returned her
They don't
call.
care.
Yeah.
They
Moving
don't
on
care.
to the next one. Yeah. Nobody
Yep.
died. Nobody got a car back. Whatever. Okay. We're moving on.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. You're done.
Now, again, now we hear, when you hear from other people about this, they go, yeah, it's because they just put a slap on the wrist of those kids. They need to come down on them harder. And you go, okay, first of all, you're right. They're kids. Okay. Not that most of the time they're under 18.
Yeah.
All right. We already have overburdened jail system and court system. They, I talked to a woman works at our complex. Her husband is a correction guy, and he's forced overtime right now. He's 7 days, 6 days, and 1 day home, and that's gone again. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
and then you
putting
have
it.
no. I mean, those people have no work-life balance. They don't want to
No,
be
and
doing
and
this.
and they are with the dregs of society even longer than they should be. Mentally, this is wrong.
It
This is
is.
bad, bad, bad. And then again, it's because we're only at about 60% staff of what they should be.
Gee, I
So
don't know if they were to do something like, legalize something that is really not that
kick
harmful. Like,
kick out 30% of the people that are in there just from
it's
that
more
alone.
like probably 50 to 60% of the people for small time marijuana possession.
Yeah.
Maybe
Fuck
we
Ron
could
Johnson.
relieve the burden on the system
Yeah.
and make
So
money off of taxes from marijuana
right,
sales. But that's
right.
just completely,
That Illinois, my
I
money. I
don't
mean,
know.
getting everybody's money.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not the answer. Not coming down harder on the kids that steal cars is not the answer. Again, like anything, you don't stop them at the border. You stop them before with education. And I
Yeah.
certainly wish you could have
Hmm.
a class where you put up all the guys that are in jail because they stole cars, or all the people that are dead because they stole cars, but you can't because most of them under 18. You can't have their photo up there or anything like that.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Well, and
but
then, it's
we need
just,
more scared straight. We need to take those kids and go bring them to the jail,
I don't
and put
even
the
know that
rat in
it's
front of
scared
them.
straight. I think that there's different resources that need to be brought into play and more positive role models, that they have. But the problem is they try to get underprivileged people into the system as fast as they can, and this is one of the routes.
All right.
It is,
Yeah.
and it just sucks. So, well, tell your daughter I'm glad she got her car back. Hopefully, everything gets fixed, and she needs to get the club.
Right. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
might have to get one. Like I said, I got a
Yeah.
Kia, so maybe I should grab one of those, or
Yeah.
just a
There's
blinking light that pretends like I have an alarm on.
Yeah, well, yeah, just get a club and there's some other things you can do, but I would do some research because I know there's been some stuff online recently. Nee, 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 nee. What am I looking for here? There we go. Hip happenings. Dave, it's hip happenings. So have you ever been to Man Planet?
Yes, I actually went to a Halloween party there one year.
Okay, my daughter used to be a huge Mad Planet person. She was a club kid back in the 90s. They're reopening on July 9th. So, everybody who loves Mad Planet, they are reopening on July 9th. They did
I know they
not.
were struggling. They almost
They were,
didn't make it,
yeah,
right?
they were
Yeah.
struggling. So, yay, Mad Planet. And then
Mm.
also, you're a food truck guy, right? You like the food
You
trucks?
betcha. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Taco trucks.
there you go. July 24th, Henry Meyer Festival Park, Summerfest.
Yes.
We will have food trucks on Milwaukee. Has a link on their website on all the food trucks that are going to be there, and I think what they're going to be offering. And then I know you are a Mr. DC guy. I'm a Marvel girl. Right?
What? No. Why would you do that to me?
Because I'm being
Call me a
mean.
DC guy. No, I have to continually tell Chrissy how DC really is the suckiest of them all, and that Marvel has always been the only one
That's
to
right.
read.
Marvel is good. Anyway, Comic Con's coming June 26th this weekend on Saturday, State Fair Park. I think it's one day only. So look that up, and if you want to go to Comic Con,
I was just laughing. I have an old comic. I was looking at a where the Justice League, the secret society of supervillains, and
oh, okay.
I boy the how bad the villains were, just what their powers were, and it was just, I mean, you think Stephen King just grabs something and makes a horror story out of it, but these guys grab something and would make a superhero out of it, a deck of cards, Ice Cube. All
well,
right, that's a
isn't
guy.
like in Suicide Squad? Isn't there Polka Dot Man?
Is there? It's
Yeah, it's
Suicide
Polka
Squad,
Dot
was it?
Man. Yeah, yeah. So that's funny.
Yeah. So there was a lot. There was somewhere, but Darkseid was in this issue, which he is a recurring character, as we all
Yeah,
know.
Dark
Yes.
Side's recurring.
Yes.
And then Chill on the Hill is returning to Humboldt Park starting July 13th. It's a music series. Probably look on the park's website to find out who's going to be playing and what weekends they're going to be playing. But yeah, that's going to be back too. So we're starting to get back to normal, pretty much.
Well, that was it. I forgot to mention this when we did the Garcade, and we were talking about that, and then I jumped up, but we went to a buffet next door. It's next door. The Asian buffet is there. So I got to go to a buffet for the first time. Scoop your own food onto a plate. They didn't have hard plates. You threw away the plate every time. So but other than that, the food was out, and you scooped it on your own plate, and I was
I
like,
don't think
oh,
food was ever a huge vector. It's more because it was droplets. So
right. Well, these
yeah,
guards are still there, but I'm just saying now
sneeze
it's
guard should be
eating
there.
inside. You know what I mean? It's like everybody could walk around. That was the normalcy for me. It's like, wow, it's been that long since I had a buffet.
Yeah,
Really, and it has been, and it was just really nice to have
yeah,
one.
yeah. I know. I think it was about it was around my birthday, so it had to have been about a month ago. Rianne and Brandon, Roger, and I all went to Urban Beats and actually sat inside. It was the first time I like sat down to eat anywhere in
And you felt
probably
okay with it. You weren't that
15 months or
anxious or
so.
anything.
No, I was fine.
Good.
It
Yeah.
was all right. Everybody was pretty good there, and we were all vaccinated, so we all had two shots, and so pretty much normal. But I'm still wearing my mask going to the grocery store because I just, you know, I think I read that we had less than 3,000 cases of the flu in the US last year. Think about that.
Well, it's because we masked up and cleaned and washed our hands, and
Yeah. Yeah, so guess what I'm going to keep doing? Because I don't want to get the flu. I don't want to get a cold. I haven't been sick in 3.5
I had the
years.
shot. I got the flu shot before the
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. So I haven't been sick in 3.5 years. So I don't plan to get sick. So Dave has our pearls of wisdom. I gotta find. There we go. We give Dave a few bubbles. How come the pearls didn't go up? There we go. I can't wait to get that Elgato Stream Deck. So Dave brings us our pearls of wisdom. What do you got?
We can't react the decisions we made. We can't, excuse me, I'm sorry. We can't retract the decisions we've made. We can only affect the decisions we're going to make from here. And that's Nick
Yeah.
Rice, which is a character by Jamie Foxx in a movie.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
And that is true. And this is what I'm keep talking about. We've mentioned this on a show before. I have to have the capacity to let people learn and move on. You're just like my girl Chrissy Teigen's getting all this crap right now for when
Yeah.
she was trolling in the past.
People change, people move forward.
Yes, she said exactly that. She's just like, listen, I'm not who I was then.
Yeah.
None of us should be. That's the whole thing. None of us, if we aren't, if you still are, well, if you're good from the beginning and you start, then more power to you. But we all are growing during this time. All of us should be. And if you're not and you're still listening to old time rock and roll and thinking about your high school days, you're not growing.
I agree. And the thing is that the person I was, you know, 5, 10, 20 years ago is different than the person I was 30, 40, 50 years ago, cuz you can't sit there and judge a person by what they did when they were younger if they've changed. Now, if they haven't
Mm.
changed and they've just gotten worse or double down, yeah. But most people do change. Most people do soften their attitudes or become more pragmatic about things. But then you got people who don't.
Yeah,
So
just become more entrenched.
yeah, and then there's people who just float.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Sure, if you're Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad, the last Superman.
Okay. So we'd like to thank our viewers and listeners.
We had to have some singing somewhere.
We did. We had to have Dave singing. Dave always has to sing.
Oh, which brings me up to I could do a few bars. Madison Square Garden did their first full show, full capacity show.
Okay.
The Foo Fighters were the first band to do it out of COVID, fill it up, which was great. And Dave Chappelle came on and sang Creep with them.
I saw that there's a video on YouTube. I haven't watched it yet. So I'm.
It's terrible to hear. It's great to listen to the song, but it's terrible sound.
Oh,
It
of
wasn't nobody
course.
recorded. It wasn't like a recording from the band. It's just somebody else.
Oh, it's just somebody with their phone up.
You're right, but it's
Yay.
funny to listen. He sounds terrible, but it's just kind of cool at the same time.
Well, the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, they let everybody, have their shot. So that's pretty
Right.
cool. Of them.
Dave Grohl is one of the nicest guys in
Yeah,
rock and roll.
yeah, he's really genuine. So anyway, we'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners. Dave's mom, my friend Pat, Marianne,
Shadesy.
Shadesy. Is he still listening? Anyway.
Yeah, he is. I actually,
Okay, good.
some of the things that like what he comments like us, he does that on some of my posts on Facebook. So I've actually just recently blocked him
Oh,
on
okay.
on Facebook. So I don't know, he hasn't said anything yet, but he's
JC,
actually
you're
in the
blocked on
state.
Facebook apparently.
He's actually in the state. He's working, doing some drywall work for a buddy of ours from high school. So
Okay, cool.
he's actually in the state. I'm going to try to maybe see him in the next week if I can.
Yeah.
So
Have lunch at a buffet. Anyway, anybody else who stumbled on us randomly, thank you. If you tell two people and they tell two people and
two
they tell
people,
two people, yes,
people,
yes,
two
we gotta
people.
we gotta give Dave his two people. And so if you like what you're hearing, tell the two people. We can become internet famous, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, hip.or.critical. You can tweet me right here at Alexa_MKE, or you can do Dave's Facebook page, MoKeMilwaukee.com. Other than that, hope you all have. Oh my God, what is Dave doing? He's scaring me. He's so scary.
Just showing all my the Kiss and the Brewers. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to say bye, Milwaukee. We love you. Stay safe, Milwaukee. Wow, this is not working. Bye, Milwaukee. We love you.
We're still on. Still on. Didn't
I
shut down.